and I'm here to bring you the truth. So I ask you to open your ears and to listen, because you don't hear this from any other voice. No one else is telling you the things that God is telling you through me. I wonder how many of you believe what I say tonight. He's speaking through me. He has sent me here to talk to you, to give you His word. I go around the world, and I probably know more heads of government, kings, presidents, emperors, of which there's only one left now. There were two, of whom I've known them both, and prime ministers than almost anybody else. Or shall I say Henry Kissinger. But I go as an ambassador without portfolio, an ambassador for world peace. And I go proclaiming the only sure hope of that world peace. I talk to these kings not to try to get them converted. I talk to them about their own problems, because that's what Jesus Christ would talk to them about if He were here. And I tell you what it is, just my way of stating the law of God. And I think the personage I mean by God is the same personage you mean by Allah. Isn't that correct?
Exactly. It was at this meeting that President Sadat unveiled a bold new undertaking for the cause of world peace, a proposed $70 million World Peace Center to be built at the base of Mount Sinai. Impressed by the significance of such a monument, Mr. Armstrong offered both moral and financial support for the venture.
We are living in a creation. There has to be a creator.
Yes.
And in the Christian world, we call the creator God. And in the Hebrew world, or the world of Judaism, they call him God. And you call him Allah.
Yes, we call him Allah.
The same God.
Yes.
And God is going to bring us peace. But there is a reason why He is using these three nations now. And if we don't bring peace now, then at least it is going to come.
Yes.
Allah will bring us peace.
Of course.
And not only to these three nations, but to the whole world. It is going to come to the whole world. And I'm not in politics. I'm an observer. I just look on. I represent God, Allah, and all people, not any one nation, not any one religion, not any one government. But I'm a friend of all, and I work for peace among all nations. And that is a contribution to peace. President, you're going to continue, are you, the peace project of President Sadat?
Yes, of course.
And the Mount Sinai
yes, of course.
Peace plan. I'm
yes, of course.
Quite interested in that.
Yes, I know that very well.
And I have agreed to help support it, and as long as you continue, we will continue
I know that very well.
Supporting it. And we are going to contribute $100,000 a year. I would like to give you a check.
Yes, thank you very much.
$100,000. And for 10 years it will be $1 million.
That's very good.
I visit many heads of state all over the world. I probably have visited more heads of government in their own offices than any other man. And so often people ask me, well, what do I talk about? Do I preach Christ to them? Do I try to get them to accept Christ? I think it's about time we understand. If I went in with some message like that, will you give your heart to the Lord? I would be thrown out on my ear. In other nations, in foreign nations where they have different religions, they don't want some other religion coming in. And I know more kings, more presidents, more prime ministers than any other man in this world. I have known your president, Marcos, for the last 12 years. I have seen him many times. I know the kings of this world. I just recently had a second meeting again with the King of Spain, King Juan Carlos. I'm going from here to see King Bhumipol of Thailand. I've been decorated by the Emperor of Japan. And God has sent me to the kings and to the tops of nations even. And this gospel of the kingdom is going to all the world. But it said, except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved, but for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. God is going to cut the time short, and he's going to save us. Now that time of trouble is just ahead. That's going to follow the proclaiming of the true gospel that I'm doing tonight in your ears. You're hearing that prophecy fulfilled in your ears this night. You want to know about prophecy being fulfilled? You're hearing it right now. I'm not here to cram anything down your throat. It will happen, and when it happens, you will know that God or Allah sent a messenger here to tell you this, because I am his servant. And it is going to happen in our time. The fact there is a creation means there had to be a creator. There had to be a designer, of one who could design and could create what he designed. That is one that in the Western world we call God, that in the Arab world you call Allah. And if I understand correctly, it's the same God, the same Allah.
Yes, that's right.
So I would like to tell you what he, Allah, is going to do for the Arab world and for the peace of all mankind. And I am speaking on his authority. I'm not saying maybe, I'm not saying perhaps, I'm telling you what is certain. The Jews have been looking for a Messiah. They don't know that that Messiah did come as a human prophet. The Islam religion recognizes Jesus Christ as one of the prophets. He did come, but he came as a human prophet. And he came with a message, which is good news. The good news of this one world government that is going to come. The Jews rejected him. He came to his own Judah, the Jews, and they did reject him at that time. They were looking for him to come as the great God, to deliver the whole world. And he did not come that way. He came as a prophet. It would seem that the only hope of this world today lies in the intervention of an unseen strong hand from someplace. An important business magazine in the United States carried an editorial which said it would seem that the only hope of humanity now lies in the sudden appearance and intervention of a strong hand from someplace.
Will humanity survive? The answer is in the message proclaimed by Herbert W Armstrong, Ambassador for World Peace.
Every trouble, every bit of woe and unhappiness and suffering in this world has come from living the way of get. Now, we're not going to have a better world until we get off of that way of get and get on to the way of give. We're not going to do that ourselves. Human nature is a little too strong. It isn't going to let us. It's going to have to be done to us. And then that all-powerful, unseen, strong hand from someplace is going to intervene in this world's affairs and is going to save humanity from itself. I speak on the authority of that God, and I'm his messenger here to give you that message. You take it or leave it.